Hey y'all, APG Jamie here. And today we're going to be using alcohol inks, laminating pouches with the laminator machine, because you got to have a laminator machine because they're not self-adhesive laminating pouches. Because we're going to make some fancy bookmarks. Now this first sheet I was using a matte laminating pouch. I don't believe that had anything to do with it. I think it's more likely the machine. Notice how this looks like the correct direction for that sheet to go in. Notice how it kind of crawled in there. So I'm like, well, come on, get on in there. What you waiting for? Get on in there. Then I pulled it out, and now I'm trying it from the other side. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh, well, see, it took my piece of paper because I thought maybe I needed a little sheet of paper under it. And now look at that page just curling all the heck up like that. Oh, my gosh. The machine is backwards, okay? It looks like it goes in from the front, but it's supposed to go in from the back, which is actually really the front. And I have since drawn arrows on there with a permanent marker and a China marker, just for good measure. So maybe I won't do that again. And the sad thing is, people, the sad thing is, this was not my first time to use this laminator, nor my second, third, or fourth time. I've used it many a time. So, there we go. There'll be a picture of that messed up sheet in the photo montage much later. So here we are, just using our alcohol inks. I am using Ranger and Reese, however you want to pronounce it. And we're just splotching them on there. Oh, these are scraps. And these are, you know, regular laminating sheets, which have the glossy sheen to them. I don't know what millimeter thickness they are. Because, you know, whatever. But they are scraps. And gonna try to blow that around and made a terrible mess. Oh my gosh. So then I take the paper towel and I'm daubling it all up. Y'all, I sucked up all my ink because these came out really translucent. Okay. So I'm like, oh my gosh. This project, I so have been wanting to try this, and it's just messed up just all over town here, y'all. So here's one of those little ones. Now these are bookmarks, and they had to fit within whatever guidelines the swap was. Oh, that was for a swap. And there we go. They're coming off kind of purple, but in real life, in person, they look kind of pinker. Pinkish. Pinker. Oh my gosh, really? So some of my ink was a bit wet, so it's squishing out as it goes through the machine. Okay. And I thought, well, oh, and this is just a scrap piece of paper I had over there that I decided I wanted to use a carrier sheet with. And because the ink smooshed it out, I thought it was probably a good idea to use a carrier sheet. Some more. So I think I'm going to show you, but it's going to be kind of quick, and you can't really see the gold ink that I used. And I thought, well, because they look kind of wavy. They just looked wavy to me. So I'm running them back through without the carrier sheet. And that was not necessarily a good idea, because if they weren't wavy before, they was wavy now. So I'm counting this as not a good idea, but it's okay. They ended up being cool. They went in envelopes, I can tell you that. 3 swap partners, okay? So now I'm just going to go one at a time. I'm like, well, maybe I'll do better if I go one at a time. So I'm one at a time in it, okay? And we're putting on these inks. I don't know the colors, y'all, because it doesn't really matter. That one was very, 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 very light. I think it was salmon, depending on how you want to pronounce it. So, and that's just a piece of scrap cardstock underneath there. If it wasn't scrap before, it is now. Just saying. We get some pretty little colors, and I'm like, well, I'm just going to blow it with my hand, and I'm like, picking up some of those little pools. So I thought I just need to pick them up, so I get doing it. And then at some point, I get out the blow dryer, not the heat gun, y'all. Blow dryer, there it is. And I have it on cool setting, and I go between using it on low speed all the way up to high speed. You gotta be careful with that high speed, because it can certainly make that little laminating pouch go crazily flippy floppy, fly away even. So like I said, I'm trying to be a little more deliberate. I thought, well, you know, I don't mind that. I'm trying to hold it down, and then my finger wants to stick on the ink, or I have stuff on my fingers to make it stick. I started out with gloves on, y'all. You know, rubber gloves. Blow gun, blow dryer, y'all. Anyway, those went by the wayside, and now, and in my hands, it's all totally covered up and just inked up, and yeah. So we put on some ink, and then we used a little blow dryer, and then we put some on, and we blow dryer it, and oh, it might get more interesting here in a minute, or 20. So now I'm not even wasting time putting the lids back on most of these things. Well, I did that one. Heshy crawfishes. And that's just a piece of scrap. And I thought, well, we're just going to put that one behind us and let it dry. And, you know, some of the hardest part is trying to get that little laminating pouch to open. Like I said, these are scraps. These are not a specific size pouch. These were scraps from prior projects, because I saved that stuff, y'all. I might can use it. And that day, I was using them. I didn't use all of them, just some of them. I'm like, well, we just diddy-dotting around. And as you may be aware, alcohol inks don't blend. They will. Oh, they will. Don't think they won't. If they gets too juicy and too smooshy, smoshy, blowing it around, rolling it around kind of thing. But in general, they don't blend per se. Okay? So we're just doing it around. We're going to use our blow dryer again. And see? And sometimes it blows some of the ink around, and sometimes it doesn't. There doesn't seem to be a rhyme nor reason to it. And I decided to stay away from the gold alcohol ink, because I just wasn't that happy with how it went on there. I think I wasn't that happy with how it went on another project I had. It could be just old juice, y'all. So we got out the one I think is mostly dry, and we're going to set this one now behind us, okay? And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of blah. And I have this, you know, it's foiling plastic sheet stuff. And I don't know the brand, y'all. And I wadded it up on purpose so I could get, you know, haphazardly, you know, kind of stuff. And it will stick to some of the ink, the thicker ink, I think. I'm not sure. It seems to stuck really well to the brea reese, however you want to pronounce it. And so I liked it that. Now we're back over here at the machine. I still have not drawn the arrows on it, but now I'm awake, okay? I'm like, okay. It goes in the back, which is actually the front. So I put it in a carrier sheet, because I'm thinking I'm going to do them one at a time. And this video is way sped up. And parts are removed, because ain't nobody got time for all that. Wash, rinse, repeat. And I think I might show you quickish. Nope. And at some point I try to show you the reflective qualities from the foil film. Oh, there we go. See, you can kind of see it. Okay, you can kind of see it. So my husband liked these things, I tell you what. We like 3 of them anyway. I know those first ones, those are kind of going as a consolation swap thing, because it's like, I don't know what to do with them. Y'all. I did keep one of the prettier ones, not the prettiest one, but you know, one that I liked it. Well, I liked them all. So, like I said, we're just going to one at a time it, and I'm trying to use smaller drops. Some of these colors are like way dark next to other colors that are like way light. So, just going around, squishing them around with turquoises and greens and pinks and fuchsias and a couple of blues and I think a couple of purples that look blue. And I'm trying not to leave white space, clear space in this case. It's like a journal page. For some reason, I have an aversion to white space. So we're using the blow dryer off and on. I'm dabbling up some of the wetter spots or putting on more. I don't know what I'm doing, y'all. I blinked. Blow dryer. Y'all. So, only an hour to go. Again with the paper towel, sitting this one beside, behind me. Get another one. Trying to open it up. Me and my inky fingers. And I gave up on taping down the little ends anyway. Because it kind of wants to, sort of close back up. Oh, that's a slate gray. And it is so pretty. But it doesn't look that great in this particular application. Okay. So we're going along. And that's a pale blue. I think it was called Sky. I don't know. I don't know what it was, y'all. I didn't write down the colors because use whatever colors you have. You can make your own alcohol inks, Also, you get some of those, see, flying away, flying away. From the Dollar Tree, they have permanent alcohol magic markers. I don't know what they call them, y'all. And anyway, you can make your own colored alcohol inks from those. Search on YouTube. It's a very handy device, this YouTube thing. So we're doing that. And we just keep doing it forever. And when I was first done with this project, I thought to myself, because I do think to myself sometimes. I thought, I don't know if I want to do this again. I mean, it was interesting and it was on my list to try. But I don't know that I want to do it again. And since then, I've been thinking of all different kinds of things this would work in, could be cool as, just. So I will do it again. I don't know when I'll do it again, but I will. Of this, I'm pretty sure. So, trying not to make them dark and trying not to make them totally light and invisible. That's the blow dryer's going, in case you were wondering why that was blowing around like that. Sometimes it's important for y'all to see stuff like that flub, that first one. Oh, y'all. I probably got so embarrassed. I probably embarrassed myself when I'm standing there trying to shove it through. It's like, it's going. No, it's not going through. Oh my gosh. And this does, like I said, it does stick to some of it. It seems to stick, I know I said it already, to the brea reese one. And sometimes if you use some of the Ranger blending solution, that seems to make it somewhat sticky-ish. You can also use, believe it or not, heat embossing powder on these things. I've embossed on this laminated stuff before. Okay, I have. There's probably a video about it. I don't know what it is or where it is. So now I'm trimming them up because they were supposed to be, whatever size they were supposed to be. And they're close. All right. Those had a weird end on them. So, oh, and now we're going to round the corners because these are bookmarks, y'all. So we're going to round the corners. And I found out that you need a piece that's cardstock, and having it under that is not good. You want the cardstock. You want it to cut the plastic first, then the cardstock. Okay. And don't try to do more than one at a time because that doesn't work. I don't know if you're watching, but that didn't work. So it's, one of your laminated films. See, watch. Here we go. No, it won't cut. Just one at a time. And you want the plastic next to the cutter with the cardstock on top of that. Okay? So that it actually is cutting the plastic first. I don't know what was so magical about that, but that's what worked. So we did that. We rounded our bottoms and we cut the angle on the tops. And now we're going to stamp some stamps on there. There is a list of ingredients in the description below the video. More ... to see more ... Anywho, this is a stazon cotton white. It is an opaque ink, and it really is. Now, once it's dried, it got a little more translucent, I believe. To me, it seems like. So we're just stamping. All of them are getting an image on there, and they're just whatever image. When I went through my book, I thought, I like that one. Does it fit? It fits. It goes. All right. Okay, there was no rhyme nor reason on this other than I liked it, it fit, and there we go. And I cleaned off all my little stamps with the alcohol pretty quick because that stazon was drying on these stamps really fast. Okay, once I stamped it anyway. So we're doing that. Now, I will stamp on the back side of these. Oh, we're already there. And this is it's going to be an opposite of a stamp image of what's on the front, sort of. And so I'm just going to try to line it up more or less about where the other one is on the other side. They do not line up. If you held it up to a light or in the window, they look so cool for a window. I wish I'd have thought to take a picture like that. But they're lined up well enough that it's, obscured. Okay. And then I'm going to stamp. Maybe I should wait till we get there. You're just going to have to wait till we get there, aren't you? Oh, I better plug my editing laptop up because it looks like it's getting low on. Oh, I gotta wrap this all around. I gotta wiggle, make noise. I gotta do some grunting. Yeah, that was fake grunt, but whatever. Whatever, y'all, whatever. Wiggle waggle. Okay. I thought it was important that you see that I did actually stamp on the front and back of each one. Now, oh, hello, phone. Now, I did add sentiments. They are hard to read on photos. Oh, taking pictures was a joke, y'all. But I did it because I know how I love the photo montage. So, I've got these hole reinforcers. Elizabeth's Crafts. Thanks so much, Seven Plaza, for enabling these. Anyway, they're great. And I've already used them I don't know how many times. And because I want to use an eyelet in there, and I'm not sure if you can see that eyelet seems to me, in my opinion, has a long barrel on it. So we're going to poke the hole, and this one is so not centered. That's why I kept it, because this one was the least perfect. None of them are perfect, but it's the least perfect. Anyway, I had they're cardstock. The little hole reinforcers are cardstock, and I glued 2 together for the front and 2 together for the back. And now I'm using fabrifix because I want to stick the little hole reinforcer on there. I don't know how well fabrifix is going to work on these things or not. Okay, so if you get it and it all comes apart, well, there you go. Just let me know, and maybe I'll remember not to do that next time. So I've got my reinforcers on there. I've got my little eyelets, long barreled. I don't know where they came from. Anyway, so now we're going to punch it, and you're going to see it get stuck on my eyelet crimper thing, crocodile, whatever thing, and I'm smashing the heck out of it, and it just won't go any further, and then it gets stuck on there, and it's like, oh my gosh, the fabrifix has glued it to the crocodile. And this project, it's like each little step of the way, it's fighting back. But no, me and my Irish bloodline, make it do what we want it to do. I'm like, well, that's okay. Bam it. I usually have to bam down the back side of eyelets anyway, even the small ones. So, you know, I wasn't surprised by that. So now this one's going to get a slightly different one. And again, we're gluing 2 cardstock ones together for a front and 2 cardstock ones for the back. And I'm hoping this will help the eyelet to stay in place, because I don't know that, I know I said it like twice or 5 times already. They kind of seem to have a long barrel on that eyelet. I don't know what else to call the round circle holy thing. I don't know what else to call it. This seemed to have worked. Worked well enough till they got in the envelopes. Okay? They'd probably be all right. Because see, you know, I don't know if you've ever put eyelets in laminating plastic before. But, you know, you want to do that because the laminating plastic is strong, but it's not like strong. And I wanted it to be strong. So that's why I'm doing it. And you may you can kind of see the sentiments on there, on some of them anyway. And yeah, I can't read them to you because they're already in the envelopes, and I don't even remember which sentiments I stamped on there. Okay. Now, yes, you can stamp on the inside. Okay, you don't have to stamp on the outside. Okay. And you do really only want to use the stazon if you're going to do this, because it really dries the best, my opinion. But there you go. So, water-based inks, no. Archival, no. Stazon, yes. I don't know about VersaFine. I don't know. I don't have any of that. Anywho's. So this one's getting another, you know, this one is on glitter cardstock. You know, it's glitter cardstock, glitter doesn't come off kind of thing. So it's actually a little heavier than the others. And I had to bam all of them. I may not have showed you me bamming all of them. Oh, they were bamming it. But, you know, we bammed all of them. And here we are to the least. These are the ones I think I was gonna throw them out, and I thought, well, you know what? I might as well send them, because, you know, we're sending the swap anyway. So let's just try to make it pretty-ish. So we got some washi tape. One of my goals for the year, y'all, use the tape up. Because if I don't use it, I need to stop buying it. One or the other. Both. But, you know. So we're doing that. We're using the fabrifix. Again, I don't know how well it's going to hold this stuff. I do know washi tape will turn loose without it for sure, period. End of story. So I thought we might as well give it a shot. Okay? So I'm trusting and hoping that the receivers who didn't know I made a video, because I didn't tell them in no letter in there. Anyway, hopefully if it comes loose, they'll go, hey, that came loose. Of course, said the horse. Could have used the sewing machine. I thought about it. I was like, no. No, I'm not going to do that. Oh, we still got floofles to go, y'all. I know how exciting and riveting this is. Especially my chit chat. I know how much you love me. So, anyway. Doing that. Smooshing it down. And some of the glue smooshes out. And it just rubs right off. Now we're just going to put simple ribbon in these. Okay? It's real simple. Now these ribbons can be removed and you put in whatever kind of floofle they want. Or use the ribbon for something else. And throw the floofle bookmark away. Somebody might be reading 2 books at one time. I've been known to have more than 5 books going at one time. I'm not necessarily reading them. They're more of a looking at book. And they're pretty. These I thought, well, those don't look too shabby after all. I'm glad I ain't throwed them out. Yep. Okay. Now we got to floofle these. These are the ones with the eyelet. See, the other one didn't get the eyelet. The fancier ones with the stamping gets an eyelet. And it gets my eyelash trim. Because y'all know I love that stuff. And I think I buy it every time I go to the charity shop. Somebody is always giving them a bundle of eyelash trim of some sort. See, that's cute. I keep that one. Because that eyelet on there is so not in the center. So not in the center. So anyway, floofle. Couldn't tell you what it said because I don't remember. And this is the one my husband didn't. Well, he only liked those other 3. He didn't like this one with the ostrich lady on it. But I think she's hilarious. She's hilarious, I tell you. I so wish I'd have taken a picture of these hanging in a window. They're like stained glass, y'all. Hint, hint, you could use them for stained glass embellishments. Just saying, they're not glass. But, you could pretend that they was. We're wrapping it up. I'm pretty pleased. Ta-da! Photo montage. So that sheet is totally unusable. In fact, I put it in a recycling bin. There wasn't even a stitch of it that I could have die cut or anything with. So, and like I said, they're looking purpley on my screen, but in real life, they're more pinkish. Magenta, excuse me. And there you could see the gold foiling on that one, okay, which is more goldy on one side than it is on the other. But you can see the shimmer on both sides, which I thought was super cool. Super cool. All in all, I am happy. I am happy. And yes, I will do this again. When will I do it again? I don't know. It's going back on the list, I can tell you that. Hard to photograph. Just thought I'd mention that. Very hard to photograph. I hope they like them. I like you. Thanks for watching. And happy arting, y'all. Go read a book. Or at least make one.